In this System.io tutorial, I'm going to be showing you step by step exactly how you can build your very first funnel using System.io. This tutorial is perfect for beginners to both System.io and funnel building in general who want to start building funnels. You will then be able to use these funnels for any area of your business, including selling products, generating leads, or affiliate marketing. In this System.io tutorial, here's exactly what I'll be covering. How to set up and build your landing page. How to add your form and collect it to your email autoresponder to collect leads. How to build thank you and delivery pages. How to add privacy policy and terms of service. How to connect your funnel to a custom domain before publishing live. And how to set up marketing automation for your visitors. If you haven't already taken up the free lifetime membership to System.io, then you can do so through my link below. By signing up to System.io through my link only, you'll get access to my exclusive bonus package where you'll be able to clone my entire affiliate marketing business in just a few clicks, including my high converting affiliate funnel, email marketing sequence, and affiliate training. And if you're new to my channel or you simply like the content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons below. Any support is greatly appreciated. And finally, before we continue, my name is Steve, and if you have any questions regarding this tutorial or System.io or affiliate marketing in general, then please leave a comment below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is click on funnels here inside your System.io dashboard. So just give you a peek first at what we are going to be building. This is the landing page. So essentially this tutorial is going to be building a basic two-step funnel with marketing automation as if we were going to promote System.io as an affiliate. So we're going to build this page here, and this is going to be, I guess, your landing page or your bonus page, and you're going to encourage people to sign up to System.io through your link by offering different bonuses. And I've just come up with some standard bonuses here. Now you can either use this funnel to do this with, or you can use this funnel, to collect leads for your own business in multiple different niches, sell products. It's completely up to you. But I just want to get you used to how the funnel builder works in System.io during this tutorial. So let's go back. So first of all, click on funnels, and then we're going to create a new funnel. So I'm just going to call it System Tutorial. We get a few different options here. I'll talk about setting up the custom domain later on in this tutorial, but whenever we start a new funnel inside System.io, we've got a bunch of different options here. We can either build an audience, which is collecting email addresses to build up your email list, or we can sell a product or service. This is more like a sales page. For example, if you were selling a product and you'd want to take them past the sales page to a checkout where they could purchase, you would click sell. You can build a custom funnel from scratch, which you can put any sort of behavior in you want to, or you can run an evergreen webinar. So that is essentially a webinar video with the appearance that it is live, and you can do that sort of kind of funnel here. So what we're going to do for this tutorial, we're going to click build an audience because we're all about collecting those email addresses, right? The principles for this can obviously be applied if you were selling a product as well. Maybe you still want to collect email addresses before you're selling the product. It's completely up to you. I'll probably do another tutorial in the future about selling products directly, but we're going to be using this one to build leads, and the same principles apply. So let's click create. And we can see here we've got a very basic funnel already set up for us in terms of structure. So if you've ever used any other funnel builder tools like ClickFunnels, you'll already be familiar with kind of what's happening here. We can see these bits here are the different steps in our funnel, and if we wanted to create a new step, we'd click create step here. But we've got already so far a squeeze page, which is a page where we would collect email addresses. And then we've got a thank you page or a download page. So this is basically once they've entered in their email on the first page, they will then be taken to the next step in the funnel, which is then where you deliver or you give them what you say you're going to give them for their email address. And you can have this page to be anything. This can be the sales page itself. This can be an affiliate offer. It goes straight away to. You can have, you don't even have to have this if you don't want to, or you can even have a third step. Is entirely up to you. So let's edit the first page first of all now. We can see we've got a ton of different templates ready for us to use. And the one thing all these templates have in common is that they all have forms built into them. So the email addresses are ready to be taken after a bit of tinkering. And that's kind of why we picked to do the lead collection funnel. In terms of configuration, we've got templates, we've got automation rules, which we'll talk about later. You can A/B test inside System.io, which means you can have two different variations of the same page. For example, you might want to change a headline, change a color, etc., just to see how pages are competing against each other. We've got statistics of your funnel here, including things like page views, opt-in rates, conversion rates, etc. So this is really, really nice. So you don't have to connect it up to any external analytics software. If you're doing a product sales funnel, you'll have the sales and analytics here. And if you click on deadlines, for example, you can have things like offers, deadlines, countdowns, etc. So if we go back now, and there's lots of different funnels here to choose from. We're going to be building this one more or less from scratch. So I'm going to pick a simple template, just going to get rid of more of it, or most of it. Let's click on this one. We're going to give it a name. So we're just going to say system bonus page. And you'll probably want to change this here. Again, I'll talk about custom domains and URLs later on. But let's go ahead and edit this page. So we go here to edit the page. You go here to preview the funnel step. We should probably save this right now because we've changed the name here. And you've got other different options: clone the page, change the page template. But let's click on edit the page because we want to get right into it. And we can see here, so this is the bread and butter of the System.io funnel builder. It's really, really easy and simple to use, especially compared to other funnel builders. It doesn't have the frills or the, some of the more complex features of, say, a ClickFunnels or a Convertri. However, it's really, really easy to use. The drag and drop editor is very smooth. Look at this. For example, I drag this here. It's already highlighted, already highlighted, already highlighted. It goes exactly where I want it to go. And it's really, really easy to edit and use, and it's lightning quick. And I've actually increased my lead generation by about 30% since I've started building my new funnels with System.io. So you definitely are in good hands. Now, let's go ahead and start editing this. So you can see this, the hierarchy of our funnel is built in like this. We've got sections, which are the largest sections. And then we've got rows which appear inside these sections. And then we've got our actual elements themselves, which is like text. So this is a pretty standard grid funnel hierarchy. And we're going to be using this hierarchy to build the rest of our funnel because it makes things nice and neat. It keeps them all in place. And obviously we want it to look good on mobile as well. So this is the desktop view right now. And if you want to change things on mobile, we'd simply go to mobile view here. And then we can change things in mobile view only and then go back to here. All right, here's the save button here. Here's the preview button. Always be saving as often as possible because especially as a beginner, and even me too, we mess things up. So let's get rid of this because I don't want it. So we click on the dumpster and then click OK. I don't want this row either, and I don't want this text here. I don't want this text here. The reason I'm going to leave this section here is because I want this section to then be kind of like this big square where we have this background. So I took this background image from the System.io website itself here. I just saved the image, and then we're going to use this as the background for our bonus page funnel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the section, the bit that's in green, and you can see all the properties for this section have appeared. So we've got things like if we wanted to give it a margin, from the left we can see it moves there. We can change the background colors, give it a background image, content and size width, padding, shadows. You've got tons of different options here for you to play around with, and I suggest you do play around with them. But what I want to do is I want to change this background color to be this background image we've got here, which I took from the System.io website itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here to basically get rid of the background color, so that goes back to normal, and then I'm going to click on background image. And when you've got the image you want to drag and drop it into here. I did this earlier. So let me grab this, it was here, and I'm going to click insert, and we can see that image has gone there. Now as we add more content to this section, it will get bigger, and it will look something like this, hopefully. These things always tend to go wrong when you're recording or doing it to a live audience. So what I'm going to do now is we kind of want this logo image here. Again, I took this from here, the System.io website, just saved it as an image, and then we want to start adding some of our content. So this will be like a header, some text, an image, and then a form, and that's the first section kind of done. So what I want to do is I want to highlight my section. We've already got a row here that we had from earlier, and I'm just going to go across here and use the drag and drop editor to bring in an image. I'm going to drop it straight in the center like that. Cool. So if I want to add this image here, I want to click on this image, and we can see we've got the image properties here on the left. So your properties from whatever element you've selected on your page will always appear here on the left, so you can go and do some editing. If you kind of get stuck and things aren't, you know, doing what they should do, always take a look at what you've actually got highlighted, and you can see in the breadcrumbs menu here. So now I've got the image highlighted, but maybe I want to edit the row it's in, or maybe I want to edit the section it's in, and you can kind of, you know, you can see the hierarchy here, the section, and then the row here, and the image here. Okay, so let's click on the image. So let me add our image, and this is the logo here. Boom. Okay, way too big. So I'm going to drag it down, and I'm going to have this at about 300, maybe a bit too big. I honestly can't remember how much I had it. Maybe 150, 200. That looks about right. Again, this is not going to be exactly how it is, but yeah, we can see we've got our logo and we've got our background image there, so that looks pretty good. Now, underneath this image, we want to put headline text, some more text, and another image. So I'm going to go and drag headline text here. I'm going to put this underneath my logo, and then I'm going to go and add some normal text underneath my heading text, and then I want to add a image here. So grab my image and put it underneath my text. All right, and then we'll do the form after. So let's style and get what we want to out of these three here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste from the System.io website itself, or I can just do it from the funnel I already built, but you probably won't have that opportunity, so just come here and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and replace this text with this text. Now obviously this is not the same color, and it's definitely not the same size, so we definitely, you know, we want this to be, this is our headline, right? We want it to stand out. So as this is a headline text and not a piece of normal text, we can simply click on H1. That will make it the headline of the page, and this is good for SEO, search engine optimization as well, because Google likes headers and it can tell what the topics or the subjects are from these H tags. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. What we need to do is we need to change this color for sure. So in terms of colors, people have their own ways of, you know, getting colors from websites and things like that. I use a Chrome plugin here called Colorzilla, which I'm hovering over, and what this is, it allows me, if I click on it, it allows me to hover over any color on any website, and then I can just simply copy it. So if I want to copy this blue here, you can see I'm hovered over it, I just click, and now it's copied to my clipboard. It's called Colorzilla. I use it a lot. There's loads of different color palettes for your browsers, for Chrome and things like that, but this is just the one that I use, and I'm probably going to be using it throughout this tutorial. So if we go back to System.io, I want to change the color of this header. So if I go to text color here on the left, I'm going to paste and remove this here. I'm going to paste my color code, and as you can see, the color has turned to the shade of blue. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. The easiest and fastest way to grow your online business certainly is. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I want to generate some space now between these elements because they're a bit cramped up at the moment, and you know, I want my headline to be nice and visible. So I'm going to go ahead and click here to highlight my headline text, and I want to give it some margin. So I think there's probably enough gap between it and the logo. Maybe I'll give it a bit more gap there, but definitely I want some separation between the tagline and this headline. So we'll give it some margin on both top and bottom. So I'm just going to probably give it maybe like 10 on the top, and I'm going to give it like 20 on the bottom, and you can see that looks way better already. There's more space, and it just looks better. Here on the tagline, so let's go and grab here. System.io has all the tools you need to grow your online business. I think I just ripped it from there, and we can see we can put this in like that. Cool. Probably make this a little bit bigger, and we'll give this some margin. Probably give it maybe 10. And then 10 from the bottom. Yeah, there we go. So this is looking much nicer now, kind of similar to how I've got it here. Cool. So with this image, exactly the same as how we did the logo and the background image. Click on the image, go to image file, drag and drop your image here to upload it, and then you go to your images and you simply select it. So I think it was this one here. and I'm going to insert it, and there it is. Again, this looks too big right now to use, so I'm going to go ahead and lower the size of it a bit. 580, that looks pretty good. I mean, it's kind of similar, right? There we go. I didn't do this previously when I made this, but I'm going to click on this image here, and I want to make it the edge or the border stand out a little bit. So you can either actually add a physical border by adding a solid or a dotted border here, or you can do what's quite a cool trick is shadow. So shadow is basically kind of make the image pop off the page a little bit, like a little bit of a 3D effect. So I'm going to give it just a soft shadow, and you can see it's kind of, yeah, come out there, and I think that looks nice. It looks like it's just coming off the page a little bit. That looks pretty cool. And to complete this first section, we've almost already done the first section. That's pretty cool. We want to add this form. The way this tutorial is going to work is that we're basically going to, get the page looking good, and then I'll connect the forms up kind of after we've done all the styling, so the forms are connected to System.io itself, and they're collecting email addresses, and tags are being added and emails are going out, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and add a form now. So you've got two options here with System.io, and one thing I didn't talk about earlier is you've got all your different elements here on the left hand side. Your text, your content boxes, your images, your videos, your column layouts if you want to put 2 columns, 3 columns, etc. Buttons, checkboxes. So you've got all your elements here, but you've also got a tab here called blocks. And blocks are kind of like pre-styled elements. So, things like the colors and the layouts have already been done. So if I just click on, for example, team presentation, you've kind of got these little snippets from templates here that you can go and drag and drop, and they're already like pre-styled. And one of these is opt-in forms. So we can see we've got a number of different opt-in forms here already available. So we can either use one of these, or we can actually go ahead and go back to elements and add form inputs ourselves. But for the purposes of this tutorial, let's go ahead and use a block. So go up to blocks, go to opt-in forms. I like to use this one here because it's quite simple and easy to edit. It's worth noting that blocks actually create their own sections, so you can't put sections within other sections. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag and drop this new section here. We can see this new section has been generated here in green. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the row this form is in, and we can see here, I'm just going to drag it up below my image into my other section, and then I'm going to edit it from here. So one thing I've noticed here is, and we can delete the old section, my background image here is not covering the full thing, so I've probably not got this set up, not covering the full page. And if I get rid of this, so I can see we've got a big white gap here and a big white gap here, so my image is not set up correctly. So I just want to take care of that first. So if I go back and highlight the whole section, and at the beginning we put this background image here, right, that I got from the System.io website. So what I'm going to do is on background position, I'm going to change it from no repeat, and I think this is the one, fill 100% width and height, and let's see how that happens. There we go. So that should have filled both the width and height, and it has. And let me check here. There we go. Brilliant. That's awesome. Cool. So with this form, we simply want to say sign up for your free lifetime System.io account here, and credit card required. You can put whatever you want to here, that's fine. Probably going to give it a bit of margin at the top. Excuse me. There we go. Give it about 20. And all this looks pretty good to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease this font size because at the moment I think it's taken away from our headline. And we definitely want to change the color of this submit button. So what happens with this form is they enter in their name, enter in their email address, and then they click the button. And it's the button that has the kind of the magic attached to it. But what we'll do is once we've kind of finished how the form looks and set up and styled, we'll go ahead and connect these buttons and these forms up. But for now, I want to change the color of this button. So I'm going to click on the button, and I'm going to scroll down to background color. Now, I want the background color to be blue. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my color picker, ColorZilla, click on it, and I'm just going to pick a blue, any blue here, and then click on the color here, and then paste in there. Okay, and yeah, get access now. I think So I'm going to click on the button and I'm going to change the text here from submit to get access. Now, I think this button should be a bit smaller than this because it just kind of looks a bit weird with so much gap here. So I'm going to click on the button, and instead of having it full width, I'm going to change to fluid, and I think, yeah, that looks better, like that. So this is our first section done. So you can follow any convention you want to with landing pages and bonus pages, but I like to have an option to sign in here or sign up here. A little bit about the tool, bonus package, and then another option to sign up on the end. So let's create this section now. So basically this section I just once again copied from the System.io website itself. It's kind of similar to this here. These are 6 tools you'll need, blah 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 blah. This will kind of show people exactly what they're getting or what they're signing up for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new section. Let's go to elements, and we want to add a new section here below. There we go. Okay, and in this section we want a headline text, and then we want to split the section into 2 columns because we want this list here and then we want this image here. And the easiest way to do this is to add 2 columns. So headline and then 2 columns. So the section is done here, and in this row that's been generated we're going to put a headline text. So drag it and put it here. See how easy and smooth this is. Okay, it's a real pleasure to use this funnel builder, it really is, in comparison to some others out there, no names mentioned. And then I'm going to drag this 2 columns here and just put it below the headline, and we can see how 2 columns have been generated. So in this one we want a bulleted list. I'm going to drag that here, and in this one we want an image. I'm going to drag that here. Cool. So let's take the headline and put it here. Let's definitely make this bigger, and I want to change the color because our headlines so far have been in this kind of dark navy blue color. So to get this, I'm going to click on the color and copy the hexadecimal code so that the browser understands it. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to click text color and put it in here, and there we go. So that looks pretty good. Probably going to have some margin underneath this because I think these are too close. So put some margin on the bottom, just maybe like 10 or 20. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool. So let's whack this image in, and then let's do this list because the lists are usually more complicated to do. So click on the image and click on image file, upload your image, and then pick it. Again, I took this from the System.io website, and there we go. There's the image. Is that a bit big? Yeah, I think it is. So let's go ahead and make this a bit smaller, maybe 500. We can always go back and edit it. And I want to put this list in here. So I'm going to copy this list. Now, this might get a bit fiddly because you never know when you're copying and pasting from websites what other hidden assets or behaviors you're copying over as well. So yeah, and obviously that has not worked for me. So I'm just going to type them in one by one. Sales funnels, email marketing online courses, affiliate program or website builder, affiliate program management. There's one more, wasn't there? Marketing automations. God, my memory is terrible. Okay, cool. So that looks fine. These 2 are really far away from each other. I mean, this is way over there in the middle of nowhere. So I want to bring these closer together. So probably the best way, rather than playing about all the time with margins and things like that, what we can do here is we can set a content width for this whole section. So this entire section highlighted in green, we can set a content width. So click here and we go down to content width. Right now it's set to full page, and that is why these 2 elements are so far away from each other, because they're using the whole page. But we want it to have a width. So if I put it as, let's just say medium, we can see that they've gone together there very nicely, and I think, yeah, they look pretty good. Maybe I'm going to have the font size here a bit more. Increase the line height here. Yeah, that looks much better. Maybe we should have a bigger image. Yeah, we should have a bigger image. Oops. Okay, so we can't have a bigger image right now because the content width is set to medium. Let's put it as wide. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's much better, isn't it? I think we can then increase the size. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me, I think. And we can see we've got our list here and our image here. So that is the kind of the second section of this done. So now we're going to use or create a bonus section, and then we'll create the final form, and then we'll connect the forms up. But you can see how easy and smooth the development of this page has gone. You know, section by section, element by element. It's going really, really well. And one thing we'll do once we've kind of styled all this is we'll make all the necessary changes to the mobile version. System.io is pretty good at making things look really nice on mobile, and you know, a lot of traffic these days comes from mobile, so make sure that your mobile page is tip top. You can also have things that appear on mobile view and not on desktop view, and vice versa, and we'll look at that in a second. But let's finish the page first of all, and then we'll go and do that. So let's go ahead and add our new section. Now it's worth noting that, you know, we can either add a new section from scratch or we can use a block. So for this bonus section, I think I used a block. Was it a price plan or was it a team presentation? I think I used... it was this. Okay, so I used this testimonial section here because I thought it would be good for a bonus section. So I've dragged this down here like this now, okay? Okay, so this section is now in. So this is a testimonial section, and I basically styled it to look like this, okay? And I thought it would just save a lot of time by doing that. And, you know, feel free to go ahead and play around with the blocks, etc., to also save yourself a bit of time. So I'm going to go ahead and say, here's your exclusive System.io bonus package. Let's go ahead and change the color on this. So far we've mainly worked with what we call headline text, okay? And you know, these would be for the different headers on your page. This was a bit of normal text here, but we didn't change the color of it because I thought it already looked good and this was already bolded. So for here, when we want to change the color of this here, the color palette is here, so we don't have to change the color here. We can simply click here, and I'm going to paste in my color earlier. Oops. So let's grab it from Colorzilla, copy to clipboard, and this is our blue color from earlier. There we go. I mean, it's a bit light, but I think it still looks pretty good. I want to put a bit of margin between this and this image as well. So let's say margin bottom 10. Cool. That looks pretty good. Let's grab this here and put our text. That doesn't look very good as it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the font size and then definitely give it some margin at the top, probably 20, like that. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe we will bold it too. How's that gonna look? Not too much. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I'm just gonna click on this image and give it some margin at the top. Yeah, that looks pretty good. One thing I did here is I added in a countdown timer, which you may want to use in terms of to induce scarcity. If you scroll down, you can add a countdown timer here below the text. There we go. I'd probably make it bigger, maybe change the color of it, fix the time, etc. But for this tutorial, I won't do that. So this is kind of what I wanted these sections here because these were kind of be my bonuses, bonus 1, bonus 2, bonus 3, and I thought this kind of testimonials page would work well for that. And this is a perfect example of repurposing content that's already in System.io in terms of blocks and elements to your advantage. And one of the best things about, you know, doing things that are repeatable, and this is definitely a bit of funnel building gold, funnel building hack for you. If you've got a section or a row like this, which you're going to repeat across the page, simply go and style and do one to your liking and then rather than doing it again in all these other sections, just simply duplicate it, and it'll have all the all the customizations there ready for you. So let's do one and copy it and then delete these. So I'm just going to say for here bonus one, and I'm going to delete that here. I'll probably change this color to a lighter blue, but for the purpose of this tutorial. And I'm going to take my copy for my bonus here, and I'm going to change the color of this to our blue color. Maybe we'll just use this one. Yeah, that worked out quite well. Rather than using Colorzilla, we've got it there. And then I'm just going to change the image. So I made these images in Canva earlier. Canva.com, get it through my link below. It's a great tool for creating graphics. And this is kind of bonus one. Alright, so it's basically telling people what bonuses they'll get if they sign up through my link from this page only, with a countdown timer, and it's going to tell people the bonuses. Now, rather than me doing bonus 2, bonus 3, etc. and different images for this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this and then get rid of this one, and then drag this one over to here, and we can see it's taken its place. Same again, exactly the same again, and this just saves you so much time and effort. And look how quickly it was to do this entire section, and it looks really good as well, right? It looks really, really good. Save. I haven't done that enough during this tutorial. Okay, cool. And then for the last section here, we are going to add our form. Okay, so rather than, I suppose we could do it custom, but we've got a form already built for us here. So taking the time-saving convention, let's click on copy, and what we're going to do is we're going to, and this can be a bit fiddly depending on if you're a laptop or a desktop or whatever. I'm going to drag this down, and hopefully it'll scroll. Oh, yep, scroll down with me. There we go. And I'm going to put it down here. Cool. And yeah, we want to make sure that this is a bit narrower than what it is. So I am going to once again click on the section, and content width, let's just say wide. Or we could do medium, I suppose. Yeah, there we go. And that looks pretty cool. There. So that is really, really nice. So that's, in terms of our funnel, look how quickly and easily we've got this kind of up and running and looking great. Now, if you're using things like paid ads and things like that for Facebook, you'll need to have what's called privacy and terms of service links in your footer or in your header or whatever. An easy way to do that is if you go to, and we'll scroll down and just put a menu in here in the footer, and then click on these links and just paste the link to your privacy page or paste the link to your terms of service page there. Okay, and then style this list. You might want to put it in the center, terms of service, privacy, save. It is easy as that, and then paste your links for them in there, and then style them however you want. Okay, but this is kind of how our funnel is going to look and behave. So the only things we really need to do now are to make sure that it looks just as good on mobile, and then to actually connect our forms up so that we'll be collecting these leads, and that people will be tagged, and that they will go into an email sequence which we'll already create and sort out. So let's do mobile first. Let's click on mobile view, and it should look pretty decent already, right guys? It doesn't, there's some things that need to be changed here. So what I'm going to do is, I think this logo is just fine, but we're definitely going to need to make this headline way bigger because it is our headline at the end of the day. So there we go. System, the easiest, fastest way to grow your online business. System has all the tools available with this image, and here we are. We can sign up for the form. So to me, this looks pretty good so far. I'm going to add some margin to the top here to give it some separation from the form. Maybe 35, and change the font size here. Okay, so this looks pretty good. That's nice and big. That's fine. Our countdown. Maybe we'll make this a little bigger. Yeah. Images look nice. We'll make our bonus bigger here. 34. 34, 34, and that form looks really nice as well. And then you've got your hamburger menu there for the privacy in terms of service. These buttons, I'm not too happy with how these buttons look on mobile. I want them more pronounced. So the text is fine, but I want there to be more button around it. So we're going to go and give it some padding. So, you know, if you want space between elements, you give padding. But if you want space between the text and wherever's around, if you want space between elements, you give margin. And if you want space between text and wherever's around it, you give padding. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give it some left-right padding here. Maybe to 30, and yeah, that's much better. And I'm going to do the same on this bottom as well. So get the button, go down to padding. What did I have on 30? There we go, that's much better. If you're on a paid plan for System.io, which you should be, because it's great value, you can go ahead and remove this brand in here, but you might want to have it on there because, you know, it will have your affiliate link. If you click on settings here, so one thing I didn't say at the beginning of this tutorial, there's kind of global settings for a funnel page. Let me save. For example, if you want to change one font and have it change them all, you can do this from the settings button here. It's the same to have a default font size, the color of links all over the page, etc. So if you want to set global settings for your funnel, do it from the settings page here. And if you want pop-ups and not forms on the page, you create pop-ups here. So if you go down onto settings, and then you can click to turn this off and back on. And if you want to put in tracking codes for Google Analytics, Facebook Pixels, etc., do it from here. And this is all for SEO, title of the page, description, keywords, etc. I'll let you guys do that. All right. So yeah, I should have said that at the beginning of the tutorial, but definitely worth knowing now. So click save. So now our funnel looks spectacular on both desktop and on mobile. Really nice. So what we're going to do now is connect our forms up. Okay, so this is kind of, I guess, a little bit of the technical side where some people struggle because, you know, I've seen beginners, they build these forms and things like that, and then they say, you know, why my email's not going out? And it's because, you know, computers, apps, they don't do anything that you don't tell them not to do, right? So you need to tell them what to do. So we've already got a name here, and that's fine. I'm going to change that. Should not be last name. It should be first name. Glad I checked. And let's change that on the other form too. But first name. And again, if you want to collect other information like phone numbers and things like that, you've got the full list here. Okay. But email is email. And click on this button. And here's where the magic happens. So we've got a number of different options here. So bearing in mind that this is a funnel, yeah, and you know, it kind of goes step by step, but you can kind of manipulate that and bypass different steps and do different things depending on your buttons, right? Because your buttons take you somewhere. They either submit a form, they take you to a different URL, they take you to the next step in your funnel. It's up to you, okay? So what we want to do is action when button clicked. We want to either send a form, which uploads this information to System.io. We want it to show a pop-up, which we could create here. We want it to open a URL, so that could be if your affiliate links take you to a different website, or you can simply go to the next step in your funnel, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to send this form, okay? And the reason we want to send this form is because we want to collect this information, right? We want this information to go into System.io. Now, it's not to say that we don't also want to go to the next step in our funnel, right? Because we want two things to happen. We want to collect this info, and then we want to go to the next step in our funnel, right? So send form is the action we want when button is clicked. And then it says, do you want to redirect users after contact registration? And we actually want to leave it on to the next step. Now this is really important, yeah, because we want both these things to happen, and that is why we are using both these options. We could also have, instead of the next step, to a custom URL, or no redirection whatsoever, but we want the next step in our funnel, okay? And System.io takes care of that for you. Do you want to enable double opt-in on this form? In terms of affiliate marketing, we never really use this, okay? So let's click save, and let's go downstairs and do it for this one too. So send form and to the next step. That's already taken care of. So I now know that when someone enters in their details here, and they click this, what will happen is their details will be uploaded, and also they'll be taken to the next step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this. I'm going to save it and then get out. And bear in mind, we haven't styled the next step in our funnel yet. This is our thank you, delivery page, bonus page, whatever you want to call it, okay? But what we'll do is we will go to the URL for this. I click here. And so here is our funnel or landing page in all its glory, okay? So I'm just going to put in my name here, Steve, and put in my email address. So two things to happen here. One, this appears in System.io, and two, we should get taken to the next page. Now, I probably should select a template before I do that, just in case. So let's go with this one. And then click save. Because otherwise, it probably would have taken us to nothing, alright? I'm going to reload the page, just in case. So click Steve. It's important you test your funnels, guys. Test your links, etc. Awesome. So did you see how fast that was, right? And that's one of the awesome things about System.io is that the load speeds are incredible, but not just the load speeds of the pages, the load speeds of how it harvests the email address and then, you know, tags it, does the automation, etc. It's lightning quick. And I've actually increased my lead generation by about 30% from when I was using a competitor, because, you know, that funnel builder was connected to a third-party autoresponder and the API was causing a bit of a delay. The technical support for the funnel builder blamed it on the email provider, and the email provider blamed it on the funnel builder. So there you go. So it's one of the advantages to having it all under one roof, right? And, you know, we'll style this page, or we'll have a little go at it just to show you what to do. So it's definitely redirected us in the right way to the second step in our funnel, but has it harvested my email address? Let's take a look. Okay, and it hasn't actually come up there, and I think I know why. Is because I've already used this email address, and yeah, I registered myself on the 17th of November, which is around about when I started using System.io. It would have come up there as a new contact had it not already been in the system. Okay, so yeah, that goes to show that this is all working really, really nice. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go and take a look into the marketing automation, because we want to tag our new contacts who are coming into our funnel, because otherwise we don't really know where they're coming from, and, you know, you don't want to be emailing people things that they shouldn't get, etc. We want to be tracking everything and knowing things. And then by tagging them, we also want them to enter into what we call a email automation sequence or campaign, so they'll start getting emails or an automated email chain when they opt in. So let's complete the funnel first of all. So let's do this second step. Now this second step, I'm not going to go ahead, you know, just to save a bit of time in this tutorial and go ahead and style this, because, you know, you kind of, hopefully you learned that from the previous page. But, you know, I'd probably change the background image, maybe add a video here. And on this step, which is like your thank you page, you're going to be delivering, you know, what they wanted, what they asked for in return for giving you their email. Okay, so you can have your download links here, download my ebook, or take them to your affiliate offer. If this was going to be an affiliate marketing funnel, I'd probably have a video here of myself talking, explaining to them about the offer. Thank you for signing up. Here's where you can get my bonuses. Check your emails. You're going to be getting emails from me, etc. And use this page as a chance to build up some trust and for them to get to know you. They would be a lot more receptive to offers and things like that once you've built up that trust. Okay, and there's not too much you have to do here, right? Put your links in here. You know, for this button here, instead of having send form or show pop-up, just have open URL and put your URL to your downloads in there. Okay, I'm not going to go ahead and style this just because I wanted you to have a play around with it, and you can kind of see from the previous page how we did that. All right, just going to click save changes, and that is our thank you and bridge page. And if you want to add another step to the funnel, for example, if you're selling products and you want to have upsells or one-time offers, just click create new step, add a name, and then choose a template and connect it all up as we did with these two pages. So what we should probably do next then is do the marketing automation, and then we'll do things like the custom domains and the email addresses, things like that. So going back to earlier, I'm just going to bring up a document just to show you what we're going to do. So there's essentially three things we want to happen when someone enters in their email address. And we are going to create this marketing automation by, first of all, creating an email sequence, then adding a tag to this person when they sign up with their form, and then adding this person to a sequence on the sign up. So it's kind of three things. So what we're going to do, let's create this tag first of all, just so it exists. So if you go into contacts and click on tags, and it's important that you're tagging people, right? So you know where they're coming from, etc. So I'm just going to say system bonus sign up. Okay, click save. So this tag is now created, and what we're going to do, we're going to create marketing automations. So let's put that tag on the back burner for now, and let's actually create the campaign. So in System.io, if you're going to send out emails and send out one email at a time, a newsletter blast, you click on newsletters. But if you want them to send a chain sequence, then you will click on campaigns. Okay, and I've got one here which is 16 emails and growing. So I'm going to click create, and I'm just going to say system sign up sequence. Okay, and click save. And on that, we're going to start our email chain. Okay, so I'm going to click add an email. It's got my email address and things here. Later on in the tutorial, when we do custom domains, I'll show you how to add your own business email address. But for now, add your name, and then for subject, let's just say welcome to system. All right. Now you can either have a visual editor here for your email template, one of these two, or you can use the classic editor, but I'm going to go for visual. I'm going to use this one, and it's kind of the same drag and drop editor as we use for the funnel builder, right? Drag text, drag images, etc. I'm going to get rid of this image just for now. I'm going to get rid of this one, and for the purposes of this email address, add a photo of yourself there, change your name, etc. I'm going to click save. Okay, so this is my email. It is done, right? Now you can go ahead and edit that to your heart's content, but what we're going to do here is we're going to click on save and publish. And because this is the first email in our chain, it's going to have a slightly different behavior to the rest of them, right? Because this is the first email, and I'll tell you why in a second. So we're going to set up a delay here on this chain, and what happens is that this person receives this email however many hours or however many days after they signed up. Okay, so this is the first email. This is the only email in this chain that will have this behavior, right? We want to send them this email after they've signed up. So I'm going to click 1 here. I'm going to have as hour. So 1 hour after they sign up, they're going to receive this email. Welcome to System.io. Here are your bonuses, blah, 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 blah. Up to you, right? Whatever you want to say. I'm going to click publish. And we can see we've got our stats here. Emails sent, open, clicked, contacts at this step, and then delay. All right. Now, why the rest of these emails are different from this first one is because we have this set to a delay from signing up to the original form. Now the second emails and the third email, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many you want, they follow the behavior from the previous email, not from the sign up form. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let's add another email to this chain. Second chain mail. Okay, I don't know why I picked that. Create another email. Second mail. Click save. Again, style your emails, put buttons, etc. And when we go to click save and publish, now instead of saying 1 hour after signing up, we're going to put this to a day. So we're going to say 1 day because we want to be sending them one email every single day, right? So it's only the first email that goes out on an hour delay. These will go out in days, and these don't go out after signing up to the form. These go out after the previous email. So there would have been no option here before, now there is. So this email, the second email, sends out 1 day after the welcome email. And click publish. And we can see here we're slowly building up a chain of emails. Okay, and I'm just going to duplicate this one, save and publish, and then I'm going to say 1 day after this one. Okay, so we've got 3 emails here. This one goes out after 1 hour. This one goes after 1 day after this one. This one goes out 1 day after this one, and so on and so forth. And this is how you set up this automation. Okay, people receive emails every single day. Okay, so hopefully you kind of understood that. And this is exactly how you send up automated email sequences, that once you've written all these emails and set it all up once, anytime someone comes into your funnel and signs up, they will get this. Okay, and you can have hundreds of different emails going out at any one time without any extra work yourself. And this is how people make real money, big money from emails. It's via automation. Now there's one more thing we need to do here, because these people who signed up with our funnel, they're not just going to suddenly get these emails, right? Because we have not told them, we've not told our funnel that it needs to subscribe people to this campaign. And this is kind of where and this is a really, really powerful feature of System.io, right? Especially considering the price point, okay? Normally, powerful automation marketing features only come with the really expensive tools, things like ActiveCampaign, etc., which do get rather pricey. The fact that System.io has got all this in, as well as emails, funnels, courses, etc., is quite incredible, especially given the price, okay? So if you've not signed up, please sign up through the link below. Get my bonuses too. You won't regret it. System.io is awesome. So marketing automations, rules and workflows. So typically I use rules for if there's just kind of one thing you want to be done. For example, add a tag, then I will use rules. If there's multiple things you need done, then I will use workflows. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use workflows here, and I'm gonna click create. We're just gonna say system bonus sign up, and this is where we create a workflow to tell System.io that when people sign up here, we not only harvest their email addresses, we add a tag to them, and we subscribe them to the email campaign we just generated, okay? So and if you've ever used any project management tools or anything like that, you'll be familiar with this workflow, okay? It's a trigger and then an action and then something else. So let's create our first trigger. And our trigger is funnel form subscribed. And which funnel is that? It is our system tutorial bonus page. Okay, so make sure you've named your funnel and you know which page you're using. Click create. So whenever someone subscribes to this form, what do we want to happen? First of all, we want to add a tag, and the tag, so we can click action, and the tag we created was, let's click apply tag, and it was system bonus sign up. So anyone signing up now through this form gets added with this tag, and we also want another action, and we're going to say we also want them to subscribe to our email campaign, and that email campaign is the system sign up sequence. Boom. And click exit, and we are going to turn this on. Boom. Okay, so now someone signs up through this form, they'll get redirected to the next page in the funnel, but we'll collect their email addresses, they will be tagged, and they'll also be put into our email campaign sequence. All right, and that is how easy it is. They get tagged, you create a sequence, and then you do the automation for it. Really, really powerful and really, really awesome. Okay, and the fact you have all this under one roof is just amazing. So that is email automation. So we've created our funnel. It's working really, really nice. We've created our marketing automation. It's working really, really nice. So one final thing to say before we finish this tutorial is about custom domains, and obviously setting up our email addresses, because this can be quite fiddly depending on what you're using and how technically savvy you are. It's pretty easy in System.io, but what we're going to do is we're going to go hover over your profile here, and then you're going to click on settings. So we'll do our funnel domain first, and then we're going to scroll down and go to custom domain. Okay, and if you've not added a custom domain yet, yours will probably look like something like this. Okay, it's whatever your username is .system.io. Okay, you want to be using your own brand, for branding purposes, building up your profile, etc. You've got my VIP club here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new domain. So the domain provider and hosting provider most people use, and the easiest one in my opinion is called Namecheap. So for this example, we're going to use that. So we're going to go over to Namecheap now. So I'm inside Namecheap now. So it is the best and cheapest place to get domains from. So if you don't have a domain already, you can sign up and buy a domain at a discount with Namecheap through one of the links in my description. So go check that out. But once you're in here and you've got your domain, I'm going to use this domain here, which I've had for a while. So what I'm going to do is, it's called affiliate23.com. I'm not using it for anything right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add, and make sure you use the www, okay? And it's called affiliate23.com. So whatever your domain is, www. whatever your domain is, and then click save. And then System.io is going to give you the directory addresses that you need to use on Namecheap. So it's a similar process if you're using GoDaddy or something different, but as Namecheap is the most popular one, we're going to use that for this tutorial. So it's given us what's called 2 CNAME records here for our DNS, okay? So how we add these is like so. So if we go into Namecheap, and again, same with GoDaddy, etc., and you want to click on Manage on your domain. And then you want to go to Advanced DNS. Now what you want to do is, if there's any kind of CNAME records already there, or URL redirect record, you just want to simply delete these, okay? Because right now the domain is not pointing to anywhere and it's parked, so we want to delete these. And then we want to add our CNAMEs that System.io has given us, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this first one and make sure you get the dot at the end here, okay? So it's different conventions for this side than for this side. We'll talk about that in a sec. Let's copy it here. And here we are going to add a new record, and it's a CNAME, right? I'm going to paste the value there. Now for host, and this is where a lot of people go wrong, they will copy this whole thing here. You don't actually need to do that. You just need to put www. All right? And what will happen is that anything after the www will be taken into account. So we're going to click on Save Changes. So that is the first one. On the second one, let's add another one. And we're going to copy and paste this whole thing once again on the right hand side. Now into host, we only want everything. We basically want this big long hash of numbers and letters. We don't want this bit here, and we don't want the full stop at the end. So it's a little bit different from this side where we want the full stop. This side we don't want the full stop. So if I get it right here, oops, got my eyes are going weird. I'm gonna copy that and put that into host here. And I'm gonna click OK. Awesome. So that's all done now, right? So click off this. I'm just gonna refresh the page. And right now this is pending. Basically, there's usually a bit of a delay between, whenever you're validating custom domains in pretty much any program you use. This can take up to 24 hours for it to validate. However, it usually sometimes takes about 10 minutes. So I know I've done this the correct way, and if you followed it like I've done, it'll get validated in no time at all. So this is probably going to get validated by the time I finish this tutorial, and that's that. And when it has validated, when you go in and you do your funnels and things like that, you will have an option here to use or when you first set the funnel up, let's do that for a second, you'll get an option. Here we go here, so it's already appeared here, so that's great to use a custom domain. And you can customize the URL here, for example, bonus or bonuses, okay? And that's how easy it is to use for that. Now for the final part of this tutorial, I've just loaded up a brand new System.io account here because I'm going to try and show you how to set up your email address so you're sending emails from your own business or custom email address. So it's kind of similar to how we set up the custom domain just now for our funnels. So if you go into settings here, and rather than going to custom domains, you simply want to go to mailing settings. Now, System.io by default will set your sender email address to whichever email address you signed up to System.io with. Now, this might not necessarily be the email address that you're going to be wanting to use for your business. For example, I've used my personal email address for my main System.io account, and that is not what I want to be using to send emails from. So you can quite easily get an email address or a business email address from Namecheap if you've got your domain from there, or you can use G Suite by Gmail and set up a business email address from there. But once you've done it, you simply want to change your sender email address here and put in a sender name there, or maybe your full name, and this will come up whenever you send emails as the sender name. Now there's one more thing you can do to improve your email deliverability, and that is by setting up domain authentication. So this is kind of what's similar to how we did our custom domains in the previous part of this tutorial for setting up our custom domains for funnels. Now, the reason you want to do this is to improve your email deliverability. However, this is not absolutely necessary, and you can still get good results without doing it. If you're going to be sending a lot of emails and you're in a potentially you're in a niche that will potentially go to spam, for example, make money online, then you may want to go ahead and do this. So once you set up your business email on Namecheap or Gmail or whichever email provider or service you're using, simply click Setup here, and they want your domain name here. So this will actually be everything after the @ So my email address is steve@stevevipclub.com, but they want everything after the @ okay. I might need to put www in there, but let's click continue, and there we go. So it's given me, like with the custom domain, a bunch of CNAME records to use. So you would simply, exactly the same as we did for the custom domain, you want to go ahead and you should have your CNAME records already here from your custom domain, and you want to go ahead and add these 3 CNAMEs that they've given you. So with these 2 keys here, you simply paste these values into the values column. It's the same with Namecheap, same with GoDaddy, etc. And in the host, you want to make sure that you're copying everything up to the full stop, so not including the full stop. So if there's any full stops here, you want to keep those, but over this side you don't want. So up to there, and up to there, and then simply put those in the host values. Once you've saved it all and everything, this might take a while. I want to get rid of that because I'm using my other System.io account. You might take a while, up to 24 hours, for it to all kind of authenticate, but it should work, and then it'll come up here as status approved, and then you'll be able to add this email address to all your emails, and it should be working absolutely fine. And that's it. Any problems with this, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to help you out. And that's it. Not too difficult now, was it? Now I hope you have as much fun using System.io as I did making this tutorial. It really is a joy to use and super easy for beginners. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons below. I know there's a lot of newcomers to System.io and funnel building in general who would really appreciate being able to see a tutorial video like this one. So please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons. And if you have any questions about this tutorial at all, please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. One final thing is, if you haven't already signed up to System.io, then please kindly consider signing up through my link below. By doing so, you'll get access to my exclusive System.io bonus package, which includes the chance to be able to clone my entire affiliate marketing business in just a few clicks, including my funnels, email marketing campaigns, and affiliate training. My name's Steve, and this has been my System.io tutorial. Have a great day and have a great 2022.